My son's birthday wish leaves me completely speechless. When I first became a mother, I thought I had an idea of what the journey would look like. I pictured birthday parties filled with balloons, messy cake-smudged faces, and a home that echoed with laughter. What I didn't expect, however, was how those birthdays would later evolve into moments that tested my patience, my resilience, and even my marriage. My name is Jessica Carter, and this is the story of the birthday that completely changed the way I looked at my life, my family, and the choices I had made up to that point. It all started with my son, Daniel. He had just turned 12. Daniel wasn't like most kids his age. He was quiet, thoughtful, and had always been more of an observer than a talker. He noticed things most people didn't, and sometimes, his questions cut so deep that I found myself stunned into silence. That year, I wanted his birthday to be special. I had been juggling work, home, and my marriage with my husband, Mark, and admittedly, things weren't as perfect as they looked from the outside. Mark had been distant for months. He worked late often, and when he was home, his mind was somewhere else entirely. I tried brushing it off, convincing myself it was just stress from his job. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. Still, I poured all my energy into making Daniel's birthday magical. I decorated the living room with bright streamers, set up his favorite cake, chocolate fudge with extra frosting, and invited his closest friends. The day went perfectly, at least on the surface. Daniel laughed, played, and smiled. And for a moment, I felt like everything was okay. But it wasn't. When the guests left, Daniel pulled me aside. His expression was serious, his tone low. "Mom," he said, "I want to make a wish, but I don't want to blow out the candles until I tell you first." I laughed nervously, thinking it was just a silly request. "Of course, honey. What's your wish?" Daniel's next words made my stomach drop. "I wish you were happy again." The silence that followed was unbearable. My son, only 12 years old, had seen through me. Through the smiles, through the effort I had put into pretending everything was fine, he had seen the truth. And the truth was, I wasn't happy. Tears welled in my eyes as I hugged him. "Why would you say that, sweetheart?" I asked, even though I already knew. "Because you don't smile the way you used to," he said softly. "And Dad doesn't look at you like he used to. I just want you to be happy, Mom. That's my birthday wish." I couldn't hold back my tears. I cried into his shoulder, feeling both proud of his sensitivity and crushed that he had noticed what I thought I had hidden so well. That night, after Daniel went to bed, I confronted Mark. I told him what Daniel had said and asked him directly, "Are you seeing someone else?" The look on his face said it all. He didn't deny it. He didn't even try. He just sat there, staring at the floor, as if the weight of the truth was too much to carry. I felt my world crumble. My marriage, the man I had built my life with, was no longer the same. He admitted he had been unfaithful, and although he insisted it was a mistake, I couldn't shake the betrayal. The days that followed were some of the hardest of my life. I struggled between anger and heartbreak, between wanting to scream and wanting to stay silent. But through it all, Daniel was there, my son, my anchor. His wish became a turning point for me. I realized that staying in a broken marriage wasn't going to make me happy, and it certainly wasn't going to teach my son the value of love, respect, and honesty. So, I made a choice. I filed for divorce. It wasn't easy. Mark was furious at first, then apologetic, then desperate. But the damage was done. And for once, I decided to choose myself, not for selfish reasons, but because my son deserved a mother who was whole, not broken. Months later, I noticed something change in Daniel. He smiled more. He seemed lighter, happier, as if a weight had been lifted off his small shoulders. And for the first time in years, I started to smile again too. On his next birthday, when he blew out the candles, I asked him what his wish was this time. He grinned and said, "I don't need a wish anymore, Mom. You already gave it to me." That moment, right there, was worth more than anything I had lost. My son's wish had left me speechless, but it had also saved me. It reminded me that sometimes, children see the truth long before adults are ready to face it. And in the end, his birthday became the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with healing, growth, and most importantly, happiness.